India versus USA, two of the world's biggest economies, but with completely different stories. One is the current global superpower, the United States. The other, a rapidly growing powerhouse, India, often called the next big thing. But the big question is, can India ever catch up to the US economy? In this video, we'll break down GDP, population, industries, technology, and the future of both nations' economies. So, stay tuned till the end, the numbers might surprise you. Section 1, GDP and economic size. Let's start with the basics. GDP, or gross domestic product, the total value of goods and services a country produces. As of 2025, the United States has a GDP of around $28 trillion, making it the world's largest economy. India, on the other hand, has crossed the $4.3 trillion mark, becoming the fifth largest economy in the world, recently overtaking the UK. That means the US economy is still 6 to 7 times larger than India's in nominal terms. But here's the twist: if we look at purchasing power parity, PPP, India's economy is already the third largest, worth around $13 trillion, just behind China and the US. Section 2, population and workforce. Population plays a huge role in an economy's potential. India, with over 1.43 billion people, recently became the most populous country in the world. The US has a population of about 340 million, less than one-fourth of India's. But here's the key difference: the median age in India is just 28 years, while in the US it's 38 years. That means India has a younger workforce and a massive demographic advantage, more working-age people who can drive economic growth for decades. However, the challenge for India is creating enough jobs and skilling its youth. The US may be older, but it has high productivity, automation, and innovation-driven industries that keep its economy strong. Section 3, industry and manufacturing. The US has long been known for its advanced manufacturing, aerospace, and defense industries, home to giants like Boeing, Ford, and General Motors. India, meanwhile, is pushing hard with its Make in India initiative. The government aims to turn India into a global manufacturing hub, especially in electronics, automobiles, and defense production. Apple, for example, now manufactures a significant share of its iPhones in India. So, while the US leads in high-value manufacturing, India is emerging as a cost-effective production base for the world. Section 4, technology and innovation. When it comes to technology and innovation, the United States is still unmatched. It's home to Silicon Valley, global tech giants like Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Tesla, companies that shape the world's digital economy. India, however, is not far behind in talent. It's the world's IT outsourcing capital, with companies like Infosys, TCS, and Wipro. And let's not forget, Indian-origin CEOs are leading some of the biggest American companies. India's booming startup ecosystem, now with over 100 unicorns, shows how fast innovation is growing. If the current pace continues, India could soon be a global tech hub in its own right. Section 5, per capita income and standard of living. Now, let's look at income. The average American earns about $85,000 per year, while the average Indian earns around $3,000 per year. That's a massive gap, but it reflects the difference in cost of living and development levels. India's growing middle class, around 400 million people, is already driving massive demand for smartphones, cars, and real estate. As the economy matures, incomes are rising steadily, and that's what fuels long-term growth. Section 6, trade, defense, and global influence. The US remains the most influential economy in the world, leading in defense, diplomacy, and global finance. The US dollar is still the world's reserve currency, giving it unmatched global power. India, however, is fast becoming a strategic player, part of global alliances like BRICS, Quad, and G20. It's expanding trade with countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe, and even settling some trade in Indian rupees. While the US leads the global order, India is quietly positioning itself as a bridge between developed and developing worlds. Section 7, Future Outlook. So, what does the future look like? Most economists predict that by 2030, India could become the world's third largest economy, overtaking Japan and Germany. The US will likely remain the top economy for a while unless China overtakes it first. But India's growth rate, around 6 to 7% annually, is far higher than the USA 2% average. If this trend continues, India might not match the US in size soon, but it could narrow the gap significantly and become a key pillar of global growth. Conclusion. So, in the battle of India versus USA economy, the US is still the superpower, richer, more advanced, and more influential. But India is the rising giant, young, dynamic, and full of potential. It's not about competition, but coexistence. Both nations can shape the world economy together in the decades ahead. So, what do you think? Can India ever overtake the US economy? Comment now and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such deep dive videos.